I just went to make a brew, right? And I thought, where's my teacup? Oh, I've left it outside half an hour ago. Gone outside, 6 inches of snow. Unbelievable. But nevertheless, to warm the cockles, a Wednesday win and 3 points against Blackburn. Now, I said after the last game that I'd like to see Wednesday put an unchanged team out after Leicester to face Blackburn today. But that I accepted that that doesn't really happen in football. There's all this rotation business and whatever. But got about as close as you can get. Just the one change for Wednesday today. Dawson in goal. Back four. Iofa, Diaby, Bernard and Firmino. Midfield three. Volks, Byers and Bannon. With Patterson and Windass supporting Bailey Cadamarchi. Terrible news for Wednesday. First minute of the game, ball down their left hand side. That was a bit of a feature actually. They really did try and get down wide areas yesterday. First minute, ball down left hand side. Iofa gets after it. He's not even really had to put turbos on. Just them big strides out there. It pulls up hamstring. And that's terrible news for him. Terrible news for us as well. I mean, for me, probably played at month for November. So early substitution. Liam Palmer comes on for Big Dom. And I hope it's not as bad as it looked. But he really didn't look in a good condition as he sort of went off pitch. And it is. That's a real shame. I think he's played really well this season. Looks more like his old self again. We've talked in recent weeks. Wednesday have been playing well ever since Danny Rule come in. We've looked a better team going forward. Well, we've actually gone forward under Danny Rule, haven't we? There's a difference. Can we get an early goal and give ourselves something to defend? Well, we did do. 5 minutes in, Bailey Cadamarchi, first goal in professional football. Absolutely delighted for him, and it's a quality finish. Bannon knocks a ball left. Windass cuts inside the right side, has a little look, puts the ball in. What I love about this goal, there's several little aspects of it that I like. The first thing is, he don't make the run early. Sometimes folks are desperate to get in there, they make the run early, but they tend always to get on near post. He waits, he's patient, he stands. Windass is going on, having a look, he's still stood. Waiting. Then when he sees his opportunity, great run, right round front of his man. But the bit I love most about it is, Wednesday have been short of goals this season. We've started snatching at stuff, swinging a leg at stuff because they're desperate for goals. Calm assurance. And it's a Jimmy Greaves finish in that he just opens his body and passes it into the net. Now, when you watch it back, as it comes in, he could easily just swipe his left foot at it and probably smash it over the bar. We've seen that quite a lot recently. But he done. Opens body, side foots, absolutely lovely finish. Great run across front of his man. And then the wherewithal just to open his body and put it above keeper. Great finish. Wednesday in lead. Can we hold on? It's absolutely crazy speed the beginning of this game. It's all over the show. Ball zipping about everywhere. Wednesday was a lot more direct today. We sometimes get accused of overplaying it. But it were 1 and 2 touch. Now it didn't always come off, and we were going a little bit longer. I've got no problem with that. Wednesday were getting amongst them and making it a real battle. Patterson in there, Volks in there, Bannon put a real shift in. But it was all over the place. That first half an hour, it was real end-to-end stuff. Windass had a shot that were put just wide at post by goalkeeper, and it was frenetic. They had a shot. They got a sort of breakaway, a 3 versus 2 against us. Dawson came out and saved that well with his feet. Modric came inside, and he's done a bit of a Raheem Sterling. I think he sort of caught it on his ankle. I think he's going for far post, catches it on his ankle, and it goes at near post. Dawson's wrong footed, manages to get a strong foot to it. It's a real good saving end. As I said, it's going from one end of pitch to other. They had a really good break. Lad of theirs broke into the box. Diaby got across, made a great block. He's had a good game today. I've been a bit of a a critic of him. You know, he's a huge size. He's a proper muck and nettled centre half. I'm not so comfortable when he's at ball, but I think he's had a really good game today. Made a great block from this Leonard, this I'm going to say young kid, and he did look like a young kid. In fact, he turned round, and when I caught a glimpse of him, he looked about 12. You know, I'd be surprised if he's ever had a wet shave, and you know, it just made you think about the passing of time, really. I mean, they look like kids to me. Half an hour, George Byers, good effort. It starts with Volks. He's had such a great game. Such a great game. In fact, I may as well tell you now that he's going to be my man of the match. I'll save me a job later. He's had a great game. He had a great game against Leicester, who were probably my man of the match as well, actually. He's such a busy bastard. And you've got to have busy bastards in your team. In fact, all Wednesday team have been busy bastards today, and you've got to be if you're going to claw your way out of this situation. Every one of them, to a man's put a shift in. But for me, he was a catalyst for that today. Middle at Park, just ratting about, getting a foot in, intercepting, blocking passing lines. So busy, being a right pain in the arse to them. And I love to see it. I love to see it. I'd rather have 10, 11 Volksers in team than a top quality technical player who stands with his hands on his hips like bloody Jay Bothroyd did them years ago. It still haunts me to this day. Great game. But anyway, he won't ball as he did all afternoon. And then he found a lovely little sort of sandwich chip off at top. Took two of their men out of game. Byers has got in, takes it inside, left foot. And their keeper just sort of shovelled it wide at bottom at post. But frenetic start, both teams, but so good to see Wednesday really getting stuck in. And pleasing to see from the point of view as well that Danny Rowell's come in. There's a lot of talk about him being a sort of a modern technical manager. He's got a certain way of playing. We're going to press, but we're going to play football and this sort of. And there's been talk that did Wednesday need a muck and nettles manager who were going to get in and galvanise troops and make it a scrap every week and get these points? We've seen that today. We've really seen that. Every one of them's got stuck in. We've gone a bit more direct. It's been 1 and 2 touch stuff. We've gone a bit longer. Good. And I'm pleased to see that as a young manager, he's not gone in and this is my way and there's going to be no movement at all on that. It has been slightly different, I think, from what we've seen before. There was a lot more of a direct performance from Wednesday. And I was pleased to see it. And it's worked, it's been effective. Not always prettiest, not as pretty as some of the stuff we've played, but effective. After this end-to-end half an hour where both teams really going for it, they're trying to get around wide areas. We're just helping stuff on, really. Great work up front from Kadamatri, really trying to stretch him and working his socks off. I'd say from 30 minutes to probably half time, that last 15 minutes at half, though, Blackburn got into a little bit of a rhythm. They started moving ball about a bit better, and they started to find spaces down wide areas and sort of get runners in there and overlaps and underlaps and get at us a bit. Like I said, that's Modic to go to lad, and obviously I think he was full-back Pickering, really getting forward well. And as hard as Wednesday worked, I thought the half-time whistle went at right time for us to get in and have a bit of a breather, because I really felt Blackburn were growing into it before half-time. Danny made a change at half-time. Marvin Johnson came on for George Byers. I don't know if George Byers took a knock. I thought he were quite busy in first half, as they all were. It was a frenetic pace, so I'm not sure how much that suits him. I think he's more of a ball player for me. But Marvin Johnson came on. He went to left side, and it was a slight reshuffle for Wednesday. We sort of went to a back five with a 4 in front, so it was Johnson left wing back. Firmao went in and made a 3 with Diaby and Bernard, and Windass came to sort of left side in front of Johnson. It was sort of 5-4-1. Ununderstandable, because Blackburn had been trying to get down the sides. It's that old chicken and egg thing then, though. They'd been trying to get down the sides. We went to 5 across back to try and stop that happening so much. but in doing so, we sort of conceding more at ball than we had probably in first half, and they started second half brightly and we're really getting us, albeit we'd got that strong line across back, but there were a lot of defending to do, a lot of headers, blocks. Bernard did brilliantly to shoulder that Smodic out of way. Diaby made a couple of really smart blocks, but it was tense. It was tense. We'd only got that goal lead and they were really coming at us, and we were dropping off. It's understandable you don't want to leave space in behind, but there's always that thing that when you're dropping off that deep and there's space in front of you, folks can start having pot shots. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it were very tense, and of course they equalised. They'd already had an half chance. That Smodic again, lively playing him, a bit of a mardy ass, chucking him centre back, but lively. He put a really good low cross in, which Firmino did brilliantly to hack off line. And then goal when it came. Ball from right hand side. He gets up at back stick. Palmer's lost him, I'm afraid. It's a terrific header. He heads it right down in corner. There's nothing Dawson can do about that. It's a terrific header. It's almost on line when it hits floor as it goes in. That's a real good header. And it's just momentum then. They've had momentum since half time and probably 10 minutes before it, and you're thinking, is this going to be the turning point? It's 1-1. We dragged back. Is it going to see Eds drop? But the great thing is, Eds didn't drop. Wednesday were really resolute, and they just started getting stuck in again. They just started up in tempo again, flying through tackles, flying through headers. Callum Patterson today has won so many headers. Him and Volks really epitomise what you need when you're in a relegation dogfight. They have scrapped for absolutely everything. So Chris Powley would out one bit, and I could just see him calm down, because it was 100 mile an hour. They were coming at us. We were hacking away off, clearing lines, and he was just like, let's just calm it down a bit. 77 minutes. Wednesday in front. Marvin Johnson, 100th game for the club. He's come off bench today. And I talked about this in a video that I did the other week. You'll all have seen it. No? I'll put link up here. Marvin Johnson gets ball and he's just sort of invited on. He drives on 10 yards into the box, and what I talked about in that video is that he's got that bit of composure. Some players talked about lash things, drove on into the box, got above it, kept it down, low, hard, gives Wednesday a lead for the second time in the game. Terrific finish. John Dal Thomason, who I seem to remember he went to Newcastle and didn't score any goals after a good Euros or something back in the day. But anyway, he's mumping because Callum Patterson has done a proper shithouse block on one of their lads who were trying to get across to Marv. So even more praise for a big pat all there for me. Good finish from Marv. 2-1 Wednesday. Can we cling on? They're still having a go at it. That Pickering's getting forward again. He's got a good cross on him. Not so big fan of Airband, but there we go. All's getting forward, and they are coming at it, but suddenly ref stops. He's over again. Thomason's already had a bollocking for mouthing off at fourth official. Next thing, ref's over, red card. Jeers from crowd. Everybody loves that, don't they? Cheerio. So Thomason's walked. On Wednesday, under Kosh again, but starting to look dangerous on break once more. A couple of changes from Danny Rull. Headquick comes on. He goes in at centre half, replaces Firmino, and Masaba comes on. He sort of goes into that left-hand side position that Windass had been occupying, and Windass goes up straight down middle, which actually turned out to be a bit of a masterstroke, because Wednesday then get the third goal with Josh Windass running straight down middle. He initially goes out and he actually blocks one of their balls into the box. It sort of hits him, Then Masaba nods it out, and then he streaks off 60, 70 yards right up middle of pitch. 2 defenders in his slipstream. And it's one of them funny ones, because as he's bearing down on goal, you've got that much time to think about it, haven't you? You're aware of what's happening behind you with them checking your back. So obviously it's easier, quicker to run without a ball than it is to run with ball. So he's done really well to keep ahead of them. But as you're running in, all them thoughts through your head, what am I going to do? Chip it, drill it, left foot, right foot. But he does really well. He almost waits until the keeper's committed and almost already going down, and then he just lifts it other way slightly. Opens body like he's going on this side, and then just lifts it other way. Fantastic finish, right at the death as well. 3-1 Wednesday. Would I say it was thoroughly deserved? In terms of possession, probably not. But as I say every week, possession don't mean out. It's what you do with your possession. And again, just like the Leicester goal was 3 or 4 touches and it's in back of their net, this move again, 3 or 4 touches, back of their net. Brilliant. That's all we want to say. As long as it goes in back at net, I don't care if it's 1 touch or 100 touches. Do you know what I mean? So, fully deserved. I'm not sure it was a 3-1 game. I thought they had a huge part of it. Like I said, probably 15 minutes before break and at least half an hour after break. But Wednesday were resolute, really got stuck in. 1 headers, 1 tackles, first ball, second ball, put themselves about. You've got to do that. It don't always have to be pretty. You've just got to make sure you get 3 points. And 4 points from Leicester and Blackburn. If you'd said that last week, I probably wouldn't have believed you, even though I'm quite positive about things. The table, well, we're still points adrift to Huddersfield, but, as I said, still 10 points behind Huddersfield, but now only 3 points away from Rotherham, only 6 points away from Queen's Park Rangers. The goal difference only starting to look a bit more healthy, 12 goals here, and a minus 19 goal difference. Because that's something else. I'm washing up after tea tonight, I've got radio on, and somebody said, Sheffield Wednesday, that's 4 goals in the last 2 games. And I sort of had to recount it. 3-1 today. Oh yeah, it is. 4 goals in the last 2 games. And it just shows, once Wonga's in, a little bit of positive thinking, everybody calms down a little bit. And there have been 3 really calm finishes today. All those months when we weren't creating chances, the chances are so rare you snatch at them. But when you know that I can probably miss this one, there'll be another chance, you relax a bit more. And I think we've seen that today. The benefit of players being relaxed because they know that we are going to be attacking teams at whatever stage of a game. As I said, looking at table, 3 points behind Rotherham, 10 points behind Huddersfield, but small steps, little psychological steps into it. Can we overtake Rotherham? That's going to be the first little step. Can we overtake QPR? And then when you get there, positive thinking, everybody's lifted a bit. If you can see yourself climb off bottom, climb again, then you can start looking, can we start pulling away and dragging Huddersfield down into it? So, really tenacious performance from Wednesday today. Absolutely delighted with that, just as I was against Leicester. I like the system that we started the first half with the sort of 4-1-4-1 or whatever you want to call it. I like that. I like the fact Danny Rome didn't make too many changes today, because I'm a big believer in continuity and people building little partnerships up all over the park. And really, really positive now going into the next game. I know it's a big ask, and I know there's that little bit of everybody if only we'd had him at the beginning of next season. But what's done is done. We can't change that. But what we can do is keep getting at teams, keep trying to score goals, keep trying to win games, and us as support, get behind boys. And if we pull this off, it really would be the great escape. And that's what football's about, isn't it? Memories, memorable seasons. To pull this off, it'd be one of the most memorable things we've done. I mean, alright, it would be nice to have memories of Wednesday winning Champions League against Real Madrid in the last minute, but realistically, that doesn't happen for a lot of fans and a lot of clubs, does it? Take your bonuses where you find them. If we pulled this off, it'd be a season to talk about for ages. Anyway, I am going to bed. Sorry it's a short one. But it is 4 a.m. and I want to finish my brew and get off. Get my hat on. Because despite how cold it is, she's still got bedroom window open. What is it with Yorkshire women? Bedroom window open. God, a minute. Silly.